Good morning students. In today's session we are going to see the relationship between electric field intensity and electric scalar potential and energy density expression and numerical problems under electric field intensity and electric scalar potential. The first topic what we are going to see is the deriving an expression for electric field intensity and electric scalar potential. They may ask the question like show that the electric field intensity is equal to the negative gradient of electric potential, or they will ask to derive the expression E is equal to minus negative gradient of your electric scalar potential V. So first, in space the potential V is a unique function of x, y and z coordinates in Cartesian system, and therefore the potential V in x, y, z can be represented as V of x, y, z. Therefore, the total differential potential is obtained as dou V equal to dou V by dou x into dx, dou V by dou y into dy plus dou V by dou z into dz. As the potential V is a unique function of x, y, z, we are representing the differential potential dou V as with respect to x, y and z. In Cartesian system, the electric field intensity E is equal to Ex into Ax plus Ey into Ay plus Ez into Az. The value of dV is equal to minus E dot dl because the potential formula dW divided by dQ is equal to dV, which is equal to minus E dot dl. Therefore, we need to substitute the value of V, dV, E here. In the place of E, we can substitute Ex into, in the place of E, we can substitute Ex into dx, Ex into Ax plus Ey into Ay plus Ez into Az. In the place of E, we can substitute Ex into Ax plus Ey into Ay plus Ez into Az. In case of dl, you can substitute dx Ax plus dy Ay in Cartesian coordinate system plus dz Az. When we multiply E dot dl when we multiply, we will get Ex dot dx plus Ey dot dy plus Ez dot dz. Since the negative sign is there, we can use it. Next one, once it is done, we know that dV is equal to dou V by dou x dx plus dou V by dou y into dy plus dou V by dou z into dz. And also we know that the differential potential dV is equal to minus E dot dl, which is equal to minus Ex dx plus Ey dy plus Ez dz. In the place of dV, we can substitute dou V by dou x. Ex is equal to dou V by dou x. Comparing these two equations, we can write Ex is equal to dou V by dou x. Ey is equal to dou V by dou y. Ez is equal to dou V by dou z. By comparing those three equations, we can write like this. Then we can substitute it. Ex Ax plus Ey Ay plus Ez Az. It is the value of your E vector, which is equal to dou V vector. It is going to be the dou V vector. Once it is done, E is equal to minus V. In all the three terms, V is constant. So, we can take V outside. Dou by dou x into Ax plus dou by dou y into Ay plus dou by dou z into Az. As delta is, we know that the gradient function is nothing but dou by dou x into Ax plus dou by dou y into Ay plus dou by dou z into Az. Therefore, we will get the electric field intensity E vector is equal to minus gradient of your V. E is your electric field intensity and V is going to be the electric scalar potential. So from this is proved that the electric field intensity is equal to the negative gradient of your electric scalar potential. Now grade V in various coordinate system, we can write it. Grade V in terms of Cartesian system can be written as dou V by dou x into Ax plus dou V by dou y into Ay plus dou V by dou z into Az. It is in case of your Cartesian system. Whereas in case of your cylindrical coordinate system, the three ordinates of your cylindrical coordinate system is going to be rho, phi, z. So the gradient grade v in cylindrical coordinate system is going to be dou v by dou rho into a rho plus 1 by rho dou v by dou phi into a phi plus dou v by dou z into a z. This is the formula that we need to use it for grade v in case of the cylindrical coordinate system. Next is going to be the spherical coordinate system. In spherical coordinate system, the three ordinates are r, theta, phi. So we can write the grade v equal to dou v by dou r into ar, 1 by r dou v by dou theta into a theta, 1 by r sin theta dou v by dou phi into a phi. This is going to be the grade v in spherical coordinate system. Properties of the gradient. These three properties will be used often when we are deriving the expression. So in between the derivation we have to assume certain things. So at that moment we will be using these properties of the gradient of vector. This is additive property, multiplication property and division property. Grade of u plus v is equal to grade u plus grade v. Grade of u dot v is equal to u dot grade v plus v dot grade u. Grade of u by v is equal to v dot grade u minus u dot grade v divided by v square. Next one, problems based on this. Here we can see an electric potential is given by v is equal to 60 sin theta divided by r square v. Find v and e at point. So at this particular point we need to find out the value of the potential and electric field intensity. Directly we have the potential equation. So by substituting the value of r, theta and phi in this equation, it is possible for us to identify the value of v. So at this ordinate, the ordinates given is 3, 60, 25. It is nothing but r, theta and phi. Wherever r we have, substitute the value 3. For theta substitute 60. For phi substitute 25. Substituting its equivalent value in this v equation, we have obtained the potential v is equal to 5.7735 volt. And we need to identify the electric field intensity E. E is equal to, the relationship between E and V is E is equal to negative gradient of your electric scalar potential. For then we need to check what type of coordinate system is available in the problem. We have r, theta and phi. Therefore, the given problem is in spherical coordinate system. For a spherical coordinate system, grade v formula we need to write it. This is cylindrical. So in case of your in the problem, r and theta, dou v by dou r. First, if you identify, you are getting it as 120 sin theta divided by r cube. Here 60 by r square into sin theta. Dou v by dou phi is going to be 0. So this formula is not used. We need to use a spherical coordinate formula, where the formula is going to be dou v by dou rho into a rho, 1 by rho dou v by dou theta into a theta, 1 by rho sin theta dou v by dou phi into a phi vector. And once it is identified, you will get the value of your electric field intensity as 3.849 AR vector minus 1.11 A theta vector volt per meter. This is how we need to solve the problem if the V is given. Next, energy density in electrostatic field. Energy density means half epsilon E square. In case of your electrostatic field, the energy density is half epsilon E square. It is going to be the energy density WE. We need to derive the expression for the same. When you are moving the positive charge, for this consider one universe. Okay. Inside this you don't have any charges. Outside at infinity we have n number of charges like Q1, Q2, Q3 and it goes on till Qn. We have n many charges. When you are moving the point charge Q1 inside this universe, it means that initially there is no charge available inside this universe. Therefore, the field present inside this is going to be 0. So when there is no field, it is easy to move the charge Q1 from infinity to the point under consideration inside the universe. So the W1 will be equal to 0. W1 is nothing but the work done in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to the point which inside the universe. Now, first case is over. Second case, you are having a universe. Already Q1 is moved inside. Because of this Q1, there will be a field exerted. Okay, that will be a presence of your electric field E. Now, if we wanted to move charge Q2, consider Q2 is available at infinity. If this Q2 should be moved inside this universe, some work need to be done. That is going to be W2. Why? Because already Q is available. Because of that, some field is exerted. In that particular field, if you wanted to move the charge Q2 against that field, you have to do some work. So based on this concept only, we are going to derive the expression for this energy density in an electrostatic field. Now, if an external source is removed, then the positive charge will be subjected to the force and exerted by the field will be moved in the direction of the force. All these things has been explained. It is the one which we have explained. Consider the empty space where there is no electric field at all. So if you wanted to move the test charge Q1 from infinity to the point under consideration, then the work done will be equal to 0. Whereas if you wanted to move the other test charges inside the universe, then we need to do some amount of work, because when you are moving Q2, already Q1 is available inside the universe. So the potential V will be moving towards your Q1 electric field. If Q3 has to be moved to point 3, it has to overcome both the potential. So at this particular point, the potential is going to be at Q3. So it is going to be potential, we can write it as V3. It is going to be Q3 V23 plus Q3 V13. So like this it will be, the expression will get framed up. Potential is nothing but work done per unit charge. Work done is equal to potential into charge. So to move a charge Q2 from infinity to the point under consideration, some work has to be done against the electric field Q1 and is given as W2 is equal to Q2 into V21. Because when you are moving, already Q1 will be there inside the universe. Q1 is inside the universe. Q2 you are going to move it from infinity to the point under consideration. At that time only one work will be done. Therefore W2 is equal to Q2 V21. Now again we wanted to identify differential amount of work done. This derivation already we have seen. Also we know that W3 when you are moving the charge W3 from infinity to position 3, then we need to do some amount of work, and the work done is given as W3 is equal to Q3 V31 plus Q3 V32. When we move the charge Q3 from infinity to point P3, before only the inside the universe Q1 and Q2 is present. So because of Q1 and Q2, what is the potential that is exerted at point 3? That we need to find out. Again, if you are moving W4, if we are moving Q4 inside the universe, then we will get one more work done, that is W4. Q4 you are moving, it has to overcome all the charges, all the potentials that has been developed. So V41 plus Q4 into V42 plus Q4 into V43. So like this it goes on till n number of point charges. Likewise if we do, we'll get the answer as the total work done at the point is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3, and it goes on till Wn. This is the work done in moving a point charge from infinity to the respective position inside the universe. Now all the charges inside the universe has been filled. We have Q1, Q2, Q3. So all the charges has been filled. Now we wanted to remove all the charges from universe to infinity. At that moment, one by one charge. First we will be removing the charges Q3. When you move it, W3 will be equal to 0, because at that point we don't have any other charges in infinity position, therefore the work done W3 will be equal to 0. Again, when you are moving Q2 outside the universe to the point infinity, Q3 is available, therefore potential due to that has to be included. Again, W1 is equal to Q1 into V12 plus V13. The total work done WE is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3. We have to add all these things. Now, two cases we have seen. One is moving a charge from infinity to point under consideration inside the universe. Second one, moving a charge from universe to point under consideration, that is point infinity. When you add case 1 and case 2, you will get the equation 2WE is equal to Q1 V21 plus Q1 V13 plus Q2 V21 plus Q2 V23 plus Q3 V31 plus Q3 V32. So these two equations we have done. This equation represents moving a charge from infinity to the point under consideration inside the universe. This particular equation represents moving a point charge from universe to infinity. So adding these two work done, you will be getting the total work done in moving a charge to and fro. Simplifying, we'll get the answer 2WE is equal to summation n is equal to 1 to n Qn and Vn. After solving, we'll get the equation. So instead of replacing here 2 is taken towards the side, 1 divided by 2, I is equal to 1 to n, I is equal to 1 to n Qi into Vi. The unit for work done is going to be joules. If the charge distribution over the volume of, if the charge distribution, here again we have to check whether the charge distribution is a line charge or the point charge. Now the equation what here we have shown is only for the point charge, but usually point charge will not be there. It will be either a line charge density or surface charge density or volume charge density. We now focus our analysis towards volume charge density, because from volume you can derive your surface and line everything. So we are going to focus it on delta V, volume charge density rho V is equal to Q divided by V. When you are assuming a differential volume surface, the charge distribution is also going to be differential. Therefore, Q is equal to integral over the volume of space rho V into V. Substituting in this particular equation, if you substitute Q is equal to integral over the volume of space rho V into V, you will get the answer as integral over the volume of the surface rho V dot V. Applying Gauss's divergence theorem, applying a divergence theorem, we will get divergence theorem states that divergence dot D is equal to rho V. By applying a divergence theorem, the value of rho will be replaced with divergence dot D. When you do so, you will get WE is equal to half integral over the volume of surface divergence dot D. It is your volume V into dV, where V is a scalar form and D is your vector form. Therefore, we have to apply a gradient rule. Divergence dot dV is equal to V grade D plus D grade V. So, applying this, we will get the equation as like this. When you simplify, as the volume shrinks to 0, we know that divergence dot D is equal to rho V, and that if you apply it, we will get two integrals. One is with respect to volume and this is also with respect to volume. Here as the surface integral, convert the volume integral to a surface integral. This volume integral can be converted to surface integral by applying Gauss's divergence theorem. When you convert, you will be getting integral over the closed surface dV dot ds is equal to half integral over the volume d dot del V. As the volume will shrinks to 0, this complete term will become 0 and hence we'll get only d is, sorry, this dV, this will be 0. The surface integral in a closed surface, the volume integral will be equal to 0. This complete term will become 0 and hence we'll get the term you can see here why it is going to be 0, because the universe is at a distance of r from point Q. As the value of r is going to get increased, the value of V and D is going to reduce like anything. So this particular term will become 0 as the universe, as the distance is getting more and more increased. Then we will get WE is equal to, we'll get only this equation, WE is equal to 1 by 2 integral over the volume of space D into E. Then to remove this differentiation, we can, to remove this integration, we can differentiate towards your left hand side. We'll get dWe is equal to 1 by 2 d dot d dV. dW by dV is equal to 1 by 2 d dot d. This is nothing but your work done. Work done on unit positive test charge. This is going to be your energy density. The energy density in an electric field is given as half epsilon E square. It is one of your very important repeated derivation. In the next class, we'll solve some numerical problems under this energy density. Thank you, students.